1 year after their wedding, the house was still silent. No children, no laughter, just unanswered questions hanging in the air. She tried to fill that quiet emptiness with hope. He filled it with resentment. That night, the clock ticked past 1 in the morning, and her husband still wasn't home. She called him Ober and Ober. 20 times in total. Each unanswered ring felt like a knot tightening in her chest. Then, at 2 a.m., the doorbell rang. Her relief lasted only for a single, fleeting second. There he stood, but he wasn't alone. Beside him was another woman, young, calm, dressed like a bride who had already won her prize. Without a hint of shame, without a moment's hesitation, he spoke the words that would shatter her entire world. "This is my wife." Then, he walked right past her, as if she were nothing more than a ghost haunting the hallway. The very next morning, the new wife's voice, though gentle, was laced with steel. "She makes me uncomfortable." That was all it took. The house, once a home, now held a dark secret. The basement became her prison, cold concrete walls, a single flickering light bulb, and time that seemed to stretch into an endless, gray eternity. Upstairs, life went on for the new couple. They lived well. New furniture arrived, filling the spaces where old memories used to be. They bought new clothes, hosted parties, and smiled brightly for their visitors. They wove a tapestry of lies for the neighbors. She was sick, they would say. With feigned sadness, she passed away. The lies were followed by paperwork. Property deeds were transferred, assets were moved, and her entire existence was systematically erased. Or so they thought. Down in the cold, damp basement, something else was growing. Not despair, but resolve. She listened. She watched. Learned. Every insult they hurled down the stairs only sharpened her focus. Every night she spent in neglect only fortified her patience. The begging stopped. The tears dried up. Instead, she started to remember. She memorized everything, passwords spoken carelessly in the hallway, the location of documents left unattended on the kitchen table, the hushed conversations they thought no one could hear. The house itself seemed to whisper its secrets to her. One evening, she overheard the exact words she had been waiting for. "I'll be out late tomorrow," her husband said to the other woman. That night, she didn't sleep. She waited. As midnight struck, she began her slow ascent. Up the basement stairs. She didn't move like a victim escaping a prison. She moved like a queen reclaiming her throne. She didn't run. She didn't rush. Every step was deliberate, filled with purpose. And this time the house didn't try to stop her. When her husband finally returned in the early hours of the morning, the house looked strangely normal. Too normal. The lights were on. The dining table was set for one, and on it, a neat stack of papers was arranged. She sat there, perfectly calm, utterly composed. "You forgot something," she said, her voice steady. He froze, his hand still on the doorknob. She slid the documents across the polished wood of the table, proof of illegal property transfers, his forged signatures, and audio recordings of his confessions, saved quietly over months of careful listening. "You buried me alive," she continued softly, her gaze unwavering. "But you forgot one very important thing." "What?" he whispered, his face pale. "I was listening." By the time the sun rose, the truth had fully surfaced. When the police arrived, they didn't see the fragile, broken woman he had described. They saw evidence. They saw irrefutable proof. The new wife vanished from his side as quickly and silently as she had arrived. His friends disappeared. His reputation collapsed into dust. In the end, he was left with nothing but the house. The same house. The basement door was locked one last time only. This time, he was on the wrong side of it, facing the consequences of his own cruelty. She didn't stay to watch his downfall. She simply walked out the front door, into the bright daylight, a free woman at last. Behind her, the house stood silent once more, but this time it remembered who truly belonged there. Poetic justice is rarely loud or dramatic. It doesn't scream. It waits. It watches. And then, when the time is right, it quietly balances the scales. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this.